We actually are. You're right, Al. They didn't let us New Orleans have the pins.
Oh yeah, no,
I was like,
not the what you call it one, the gold one.
well, that was slightly different. Well, how are you? My staff is out today. Hey, how are you? Have we put out the so later this week, so it's my first season. Probably later.
Did you get one of these? Here. Because of the situation. Thank you. You better, but that's what it's called. Maybe they can hire a second city engineer. So he can take the, you take it. No, he's overwhelmed. He needs help. And help you. What is that?
Yes, yes. So there's no icing problem that's preventing the final whatever. And I don't know exactly what it is, but I'll find out.
Okay, great. Thank you. Here. 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 Here.
Here. Here.
Here. Here.
Present.
Here. Here. Here.
Here.
Here.
Here.
Here.
Present.
Here.
Here. Present. Here.
Here.
Here. Present.
Here. Let me look for the record that work firm has been established. I'll now call on order from Board 7 for divine validation.
Thank you, colleagues, and everyone who's here joining us. Seated. So, Yom Kippur, which is the Jewish Day of Atonement, was about a month ago. And when I was at services with my family, I was struck by a passage in Isaiah 58:3 that I appreciated the sentiment of, which is about the need not only to do the Lord's work through ritual and through rhetoric, but also through action. And the passage starts with Jewish people asking, why when we fasted did you not see? Why when we starved our bodies did you pay no heed? Lord responds, because on your fast day you see to your business and press all your laborers. Because you fast and strife and contention, and you strike with the wickedness. Your fasting today is not such as to make your voice heard on high. No, this is the fast I desire, to unlock fetters of wickedness, and untie the cords of the yoke, to let the oppressed go free, to break off every yoke. It is to share your bread with the hungry, and to take the wretched poor into your home. When you see the naked, to clothe them, and not to ignore your own kin. Then shall your light burst through like the dawn, and your healing spring up quickly. Your vindicator shall march before you. The presence of the Lord shall be your rear. Then when you call the Lord will answer. When you cry, the Lord will say, here I am. If you banish the yoke from your midst, the menacing hand and evil speech, and you offer your compassion to the hungry and satisfy the famished creature, then shall your light shine in darkness, and your gloom shall be like noonday. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam President. Good evening. Move approval of the journal of November 7, 2024, Board of Alders meeting.
The item has been moved and seconded. Question, are there any corrections to the journal? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Item passes.
Thank you, Madam President. On unanimous consent, I ask you to see item number 1 from tax collector, order of tax refunds, November 18, 2024.
Is there anyone going to deny unanimous consent? Seeing none, Mr. Majority Leader.
I move the item.
Second.
The item has been moved and seconded. Discussion, seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Item passes. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam President. I ask unanimous consent, items 2 through 14. 2, order concerning real property taxes of Taquan Cordell Taylor on motor vehicle tax account 99957. 3, order concerning real property taxes of Freedom Davis on motor vehicle tax accounts 83645, 62376, 62445, 63034, and 63076. 4, order concerning real property tax of Elise A. Folk on motor vehicle tax account 84725. 5, order concerning real property taxes of Trey and Frazier on motor vehicle tax account 68113 and 69065. 6, order concerning real property taxes of Stephen Graham on motor vehicle tax account 70669. 7, order concerning real property taxes of Sagar Habib on motor vehicle tax account 72452. 8, order concerning real property taxes of Kenneth Key on motor vehicle tax account 77201, 77614, 956920. 9, order concerning real property taxes of Raquel Alfadai on motor vehicle tax account 89892. 10, order concerning real property taxes of Rolando Roman Roland on motor vehicle tax accounts 90765 and 94251. 11, order concerning real property taxes of Alonda Ragland on motor vehicle tax accounts 91333 and 92089. 12, order concerning real property taxes of Diana Strain on motor vehicle tax accounts 34477, 37749, and 101484. 13, order concerning real property taxes of Marco Vasquez Lindell on motor vehicle tax accounts 95843, 102926, and 105479. 14, order concerning real property tax of Alan Zamorano Munoz on motor vehicle tax accounts 107110 and 107112.
Is there anyone going to deny unanimous consent? Seeing none, Mr. Majority Leader.
I move these items.
Second.
The item has been moved and seconded. Discussion, I call for the Board 18.
Thank you, Madam President. These individuals are where we be giving the interest, so the total taxes and fees being brought in this vote will be $8,453.06. Thank you.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Item passes.
Thank you, Madam President. I ask unanimous consent on item number 14 from the Deputy Chief Administrative Officer submitting a resolution authorizing the mayor of New Haven to accept ARPA grant funding from the State of Connecticut Department of Energy and Environmental Protection to fund improvements to Fort Hale Park.
Is
Is there anyone going to deny or present between none of the board?
I move the item.
Second.
The item has been moved and seconded. Discussion. I call on order for Ward 18.
Thank you, Madam President. These funds were vitally needed at 40 Elm Park, especially the dog park. It's been long overdue to get renovated, so I thank the state for helping out for the improvements at 40 Elm Park. Thank you.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Ayes have it. Majority.
Thank you, Madam President. I know communications 16 through 21. I know first readings 22 and 23. Under second readings, I move item 24, automatic affairs favorable. A, order of the New Haven Board of Alders approving the appointment of Sadia Fisher to the Affordable Housing Commission. B, order of the New Haven Board of Alders approving the appointment of Sergio Rodriguez to the Civilian Review Board. C, order of the New Haven Board of Alders approving the appointment of Carlota Clark to the Commission on Aging. D, order of the New Haven Board of Alders approving the appointment of Dirk Bergman to the Development Commission. E, order of the New Haven Board of Alders approving the appointment of Charles J. Navarro to the Development Commission. F, order of the New Haven Board of Alders approving the appointment of John Kelly to the Emergency Management Advisory Council. G, order of the New Haven Board of Alders approving the appointment of Dr. Frank Mongillo to the Lead Poisoning Advisory Committee. H, order of the New Haven Board of Alders approving the reappointment of Josh Shaham to the Homeless Advisory Commission.
Second.
The items have been moved and seconded. Discussion. I call on order for Ward 13.
Thank you, Madam. Thank you, Madam. It's not working. I'll talk loud. Thank you, Madam President. On Monday, October 28, 2024, the Automatic Affairs Committee met. We would like to favorably recommend these appointees. The appointees who were required attended the meeting and spoke before the committee enthusiastically about serving the city. The committee favorably recommends those appointees. I urge colleagues to vote favorably to support them. Thank you, Madam President.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Ayes have it.
Thank you, Madam President. I move item 25, finance favorable. A, order of the New Haven Board of Alders authorizing the execution of a successor collective bargaining agreement between the City of New Haven and New Haven Police Union, Elm City Local CACD, dated July 1st, 2022 to June 30, 2028.
Second.
The item has been moved and seconded. Discussion. I call on order for Ward 25.
Thank you, Madam President. This 6-year contract with the Elm City Local significantly increases police officer salaries to make them more competitive with other police departments in Connecticut by boosting base pay rates for new recruits as well as existing officers and providing strong annual raises. This contract should help the city to retain officers and increase the number of new police to serve our city. In recognition of the fact that this agreement was settled many months after the prior contract expired, negotiated increases will be applied retroactively and lump sum payments will be made in 2 installments, one within 30 days of final approval and the other within 18 months. The ratified agreement makes other notable changes, including the creation of a deferred retirement option or DROP plan designed to support officers who wish to continue working beyond the contractual retirement age. The city expects savings from medical benefits changes, which increase employee payroll contributions incrementally over the life of the contract, and which move employees to Anthem's essential formulary. The new contract also changes officer work schedules and makes other language changes in order to improve how the department functions. The Finance Committee heard this item on October 29th. The discussion with the city staff focused on how this new contract would improve the function of the police department and on what effect it may have on efforts to recruit and retain officers. Chief Jacobson and Elm City Local President Cotto both expressed hope that this new contract would lift officer morale and would both attract new applicants and entice more existing officers to stay. Even though the fiscal impact will be considerable, members of the committee spoke about the vital need for the city to rebuild its police force. With broad agreement about this priority, the committee voted to recommend approval of this contract, and I urge colleagues to vote in favor of this motion. Thank you, Madam President.
Any further discussion? I call on order from Board Homestead.
Thank you, Madam President. I rise to overwhelmingly support this contract. This is well overdue. We know that our officers work hard throughout our city, and this is one move in the right direction to give them what they so well deserve. And I encourage colleagues to support this as well. Thank you.
Any further discussion? I call on order from Homestead.
Thank you. This road doesn't work. Thank you, Madam President. This contract, I rise in support of this contract. This contract is a step in the right direction. It competes with other municipalities on starting salaries and overall benefits, including more downtime for our officers. By being more competitive, we can retain our more experienced officers and attract those interested in becoming officers, and especially here at the New Haven Police Department. This contract will also improve morale in what is a stressful job. We have to remember that our officers are the ones running towards what could be a dangerous situation while we're running away from it. We need to make sure that we take care of our officers and let them know we appreciate them and their safety, and in turn, they will keep us safe. I feel like I'm constantly praying to St. Michael the Archangel, who's the patron saint of our first responders. So you guys all have my prayers. This contract will be an investment in our city. So let's support our New Haven Police Department family by supporting this contract. Thank you, Madam President.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Item passed.
Thank you, Madam President. Thank you, Madam President. Continuing under favorable, I move item 25B, ordinance amendment to appropriate ordinance number 1, authorizing budget transfer number 20-25-1, the amount of $2,300,000 from the Health Department's General Fund salary line 1301110-50110 to the Health Department's miscellaneous expense line 1301110-56699 to increase the amount of the contract with Worldwide Traveling Staff Incorporated by $2,300,000 to cover the total estimated cost for the provision of temporary nursing services in New Haven Public Schools for the period of July 1, 2024 to June 30, 2025.
Second.
The item has been moved in second. Discussion, I call on order from Board 25.
Thank you, Madam President. The Department of Health requests to move funds from its salary account to its miscellaneous account to fund its contract with the firm that provides temporary nurses serving students in our public schools. In her correspondence after the Finance Committee meeting, the Director of Public Health shared that the city has struggled to fill posted nurse positions despite engaging in outreach, such as attending nurse-related job fairs. She confirmed that the union contract will expire in 2026, and she stated her hope that the next contract will boost the uncompetitive salaries that make these positions unappealing. Our Director of Public Health informed the committee that this firm was selected through a competitive process and has been highly responsive to the city's needs. The Finance Committee heard this item on October 29th and voted to recommend approval. I ask colleagues to vote yes on the motion. Thank you, Madam President.
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Is there any strong draft resolution to vote?
Yes.
Is there anyone who would have resolution to change? The item passes.
Thank you, Madam President. Continuing the finance table, item 25C. Ordinance amendment to appropriate ordinance number 2 for fiscal year 2023 through 2024 under Article 7 of the City Code of Ordinances and Section 2-388 to 2-397. The city seeks approval to assign $3 million from the general fund balance for educational purposes.
Second.
The item has been moved and seconded. Discussion. I'll call over to Board.
Thank you, Madam President. The administration requests authorization to assign $3 million from the general fund balance to be used for educational purposes. What does this mean? Fiscal year 2024-25 ended with a surplus, which increased our positive general fund balance. The administration asks the board to approve setting aside $3 million of this balance to be used to cover educational expenses should the Board of Education not be able to meet the budget that this board set for this fiscal year. Colleagues should note what this ordinance amendment does not do. It does not authorize the transfer of any funds. Should the Board of Education not meet its budget by June 2025, the administration will still need to submit an ordinance amendment making the appropriate transfer. This amendment does not increase the approved Board of Education budget for this fiscal year. As a consequence, this legislation also does not increase the minimal educational budget allocation for next fiscal year's budget. The superintendent and her team appeared before the Finance Committee in our October 29th meeting. They stated that they had tried to mitigate the $11 million difference between their budget request and the final approved budget, but they anticipated not being able to address about $3 million in costs. They highlighted the salaries of teachers and support staff, as well as other contractual services, as the cost categories that they did not feel confident they could mitigate. In the deliberations, some Finance Committee members shared concerns about this request, but most agreed on the need to provide further financial support to the Board of Education. In the end, a majority of the Finance Committee voted to recommend approval, and so I urge colleagues to vote yes on this motion. Thank you, Madam President.
Any further discussion? I'll call on Board of Alders.
Thank you, Madam President. I'm rising reluctantly in support of this. We had some passionate conversations during our finance budget meeting. And the reason why, I am going to support it is because our kids deserve it. As the mom of New Haven Public Schools alumni, as well as a current student, it's important for me for they to have the proper teachers and not allow good teachers to leave. Where my hesitation comes is that, it's always the city of New Haven tax dollars that have to go and support this, where I would like to see the state maybe redo their budgeting and how their little calculations work, and the federal government to help, because we can't keep doing this to the residents of this city when there are so many asks from the residents as well. And for that reason, is the part where I'm hesitant. But I'll support this. Because if we don't do it now, we're going to have to do it later, no matter what. And again, I encourage my colleagues to support this item. It's supporting our teachers, it's supporting the staff, and most importantly, it's supporting our students. Thank you, Madam President.
Any further discussion? I'll call on Board 27.
Thank you, Madam President. When I came in today, I was not in support of this item, but I am going to support this now. Our students need help. Our teachers need help. But I'm going to say to the Board of Education, pull it together. Pull it together. And I want to go on record by saying, if we need to close schools, then let's get the schools closed. Let's reduce this budget. Let's right-size our classes. And let's pull it together. But I am in support of this because our teachers and our students need the help. Thank you, Madam President.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, this is an ordinance amendment. We'll have the city council take the roll.
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Is there anyone who has a permission to vote? Is there anyone who has a permission to change? Seeing none, I pass.
Thank you, Madam President. Continuing on the finance payroll, I move item 25D, Board of Alders reallocating $5,500,000 from previously approved American Rescue Plan projects for supplementing funding for eligible American Rescue Plan projects and general fund fiscal year 2024 through 2025 budget line items and capital projects.
Second.
The item has been moved and second discussion. I call on order from Ward 25.
Thank you, Madam President. The city closed fiscal year 2023-24 with a surplus and a revenue allocation of $5.5 million in American Rescue Plan Act funds was not needed. The administration asks to reallocate the unused $5.5 million in other funds for capital purposes to the Board of Education. The Finance Committee heard this item on October 29th. The superintendent and her team discussed possible property maintenance and capital improvement projects these monies could support. Committee members requested information about recent expenditures on public school buildings, as well as more detail on what some of the maintenance and improvement projects might be. As Chair of Finance, I followed up with City and Board of Education staff on these requests, and additional information was provided. Colleagues will note several sheets of paper on their desks, which is a copy of this information. In deliberations, everyone on the committee acknowledged the need for better maintenance and repairs of our New Haven public school buildings. The Finance Committee voted to give this item a favorable recommendation, and I ask colleagues to vote yes on this motion. Thank you, Madam President.
Any further discussion? I call on order from Ward 10.
It worked. Oh. Thank you, Madam President. Thank you, Madam President. Oh. Once again, in finance, we had some passionate conversation about this $5.5 million that was set aside as a buffer for our budget, for the city budget. And that $5.5 million in ARPA funds, yes, it was not needed, but it actually is needed. It's needed for sidewalks, speed humps, traffic calming in all measures, road paving, et cetera, et cetera. So yes, it is needed. And who is again facing the dilemma of the residents? The residents aren't getting what they need. And this ARPA funding could have gone towards that. But yes, I will support it because again, you know, our schools are falling apart. There's mold in schools, they're not safe for our students. We need them to have a safe environment. But again, this is hard because we in this room, all three of us, get requests from residents for other needs and important needs as well. And this $5.5 million will go towards hopefully a start to not rebuilding, but fixing our schools, making sure the kids are safe within the schools. And, you know, again, we need to listen to our residents too, with the needs that they have.
And I look to the state and I look to the federal government. We need them to help us make sure that our students are learning in a safe environment. Thank you, Madam President.
Any further discussion? I'll call on order from Board 13.
Okay, so originally I did not support this issue when it came up at the finance committee because capital projects, we knew that the HVAC systems back in 2023, 24, even 21, 22, that they needed to be replaced and no money from the capital budget was put into HVAC repairs. We did put money into energy performance and enhancements, but we did not put money into the department, including school construction. There was no money. So I wanted to see where the money was coming from, and I wasn't going to do a line item vote saying that I approved this unless I knew where the money was going to be spent. Seeing that the money is going to be spent on HVAC systems, if general maintenance in the schools, I will support this because it's crucially needed. And because this is ARPA money, the Board of Alders do have a right to ask for line items with this because it will come before us as not one line item that says HVAC and enhancements. It's ARPA funds that have to be used by 2025. So we will get a request for where the money is going to be used for. So I feel secure in my vote to say yes. Thank you.
Any further discussion? I'll call on order from Board 27.
Thank you, Madam President. I rise in support of this item. We know that our schools are in disrepair. And $5 million is not a lot of money compared to the amount of schools we have and the repairs that need to be done. But once again, we're charging the Board of Ed to be fiscally responsible and to make the best use of these funds as possible. I look forward to receiving the detailed report on how these funds were distributed as it comes before our finance committee. And I have hope that this money is going to go towards the repairs of bathrooms, and I guess we were one day discovered there was mold in the schools and all the other things that are going on in order to bring our schools up to the standard that should be in one of the world's most wealthiest nations. Thank you, Madam President.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Ayes have it.
Thank you, Madam President. Continuing under finance favorable, I move item E. 25E, ordinance amendment to appropriate ordinance number 1 for the fiscal year 2023 through 24 under Article 8 of the City Charter and Section 2-385 to Section 2-389 of the Code of General Ordinances. Transfer number 24-999 is seeking approval to eliminate negative line item balances for the fiscal year ending 6/30/24.
Second. The item has been moved in second. I call on order for Board 25.
Thank you, Madam President. Every year about this time, after city staff close out the fiscal year ending the previous June, we vote on a large transfer amendment that moves funds from surplus accounts to deficit accounts. We approve this transfer to ensure the approved budget matches up with the final results of the fiscal year as is required by city ordinances. This action is an important piece of financial housekeeping. The Finance Committee voted to recommend approval, and I urge colleagues to vote yes on this motion. Thank you, Madam President.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, this is the ordinance amendment. We'll have the consent vote.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Crespo, Thunder, Yes. Cole? Yes. Edwards? Michael?
Yes.
Peter?
Yes.
Wilson?
Yes.
Myers?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Rashawn?
Yes.
Mark?
Yes.
Rolo?
Yes.
McKee?
Yes.
Yes. Is there anyone who has a wish to vote? Is there anyone who has a wish to change their vote? Seeing none, item passed. Mr. Jones.
Thank you, Madam President. I move item 25, F under Finance, favorable order to read and file the updated budgetary and financial reports for the month of June 2024 in compliance with Article 8, Section 5 of the Charter.
Second. The item has been moved and seconded. Discussion on the following. Seeing none. All in favor of reading and following item, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? This item is filed. Mr. Jones.
Thank you, Madam President. I move item 26 under legislation favorable ordinance amendment of the New Haven Board of Alders to review and approve the New Haven Democracy Fund approved Code of General Ordinances revision.
Second.
The item has been moved and seconded. Discussion. I call on order for Ward 8.
Thank you, Madam President. I'd like to move to amend this item by substitution of the revised amendments that are before this board this evening.
Second.
The amendment has been moved and seconded. Discussion on the amendment only. I call on order for Ward 8.
I want to direct colleagues, thank you, Madam President. I want to direct colleagues to two documents that should be in front of you. These amendments reflect this board's intention to apply the Democracy Fund only to mayoral elections. Also, these amendments clean up medical inconsistencies. And finally, it would update section 2-84 to clarify how unused funds should be returned.
Any further discussion on the amendment only? I call on order for Ward 7.
Thank you, Madam President. I want to speak in favor of the amendment and thank my colleagues who helped work on the amendment, in particular the part of the amendment that will change the way that funds that have not yet been spent by campaigns will be returned to the fund. The previous version of the ordinance would have required campaigns to return all the money they had received from the Democracy Fund if they didn't make it onto the ballot or their opponent dropped out. We have some concerns that might leave campaigns in debt, which would disincentivize from people using the program, which is the purpose in the first place. So I appreciate my colleagues and our chair's work, the majority leader's work on this amendment, and urge colleagues to support. Thank you.
Any further discussion on the amendment only? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Discussion. Call on order from Ward 8.
Thank you, Madam President. This item revises the New Haven Democracy Fund ordinance to close loopholes, fix weaknesses, and clarify ambiguities. On July 2nd, 2024, the Legislation Committee met and favorably recommended this item. The Democracy Fund Administrator and its chair explained how the proposed updates introduced changes like e-filing and made the ordinance gender neutral. These updates also prepare us for the 2027 election when 4-year terms begin for both the executive and legislative branches. 2 members of the public provided testimony in support of the changes. I urge colleagues to adopt these amendments to the Haven Democracy Fund Code of General Ordinances. Thank you, Madam President.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, this is the ordinance amendment. Will have to be town clerk. Take the roll.
Yes.
Douglas?
Yes.
Hubbard?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Yes.
Singh?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
Hugo?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
Justin?
Yes.
Murphy?
Yes.
Durant?
Yes.
Santana?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes.
Desi?
Yes.
Fresco? Hunter?
Yes.
Fuller? Yes. Edwards? Nyblack?
Yes.
Peter?
Yes.
Morrison?
Yes.
Myers?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Rashawn?
Yes.
Mark?
Yes.
Rolo?
Yes.
McKee?
Yes.
Yes. Is there anyone who has a wish to vote? Is there anyone who has a wish to change their vote? Seeing none, item passes.
Thank you, Madam President. I move item 27, tax abatement favorable A through D. A, order assisting FL Global Plan on real property taxes for property located at 379 Temple Street, Union, Unit G31, account number 12890. B, order debating deferring collection of real property taxes due from Teresa J. Ferriola on her residence for grant list years of 2021, 2022, and 2023. C, order concerning real property taxes of Dana Kidler of European Skincare, account number 308125. D, order concerning Booker T. Washington Academy requesting tax assistance on property located at located at 804 State Street.
Second.
The item has been moved and second discussion. I'll call on order number 2.
Thank you, Madam President. Item A, Mr. Goldfarb owns a condo unit in apartment space. Due to an error at the closing, the parking space was left under the name of the former owner. Mr. Goldfarb was notified after several years that he owned property taxes, and interest on this parking space. Tax Abatement Committee recommends that the interest be waived, fees be forgiven, and Mr. Goldfarb pay the taxes owed. I ask that you approve this recommendation. Thank you. Item B, Mrs. Ferriola is a senior resident of the city who has requested a tax abatement on her home. She meets the requirements of the program, and the Tax Abatement Committee also recommends that she be approved. I ask that you approve this recommendation also. Thank you. Item C, Mrs. Kilter owned a business which has since been closed. Because the tax assessor notified after several years, the assessor's office could only forgive three past years of the taxes. The Tax Abatement Committee recommends that the remaining past 3 tax years the interest be forgiven. I ask that we approve that recommendation also. Thank you. And D, the Booker T. Washington Academy came before the Tax Abatement Committee and requested assistance with the taxes that they would pay to St. Stanislaus Roman Catholic Church for the school building that they rent. The Tax Abatement Committee recommended to reduce their taxes by half for the current tax year. I ask that you approve this recommendation also. Thank you.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? The item passes.
Thank you, Madam President. I move item 28, Joint Community Development Tax Abatement. I move it favorable. The resolution of the Board of Alders designating the city of New Haven as a rehabilitation area and renewing and amending criteria for the eligibility of real property for assessment deferral and administrative procedures.
Second.
The item has been moved and seconded. Discussion. I call on order for Ward 6.
Thank you, Madam President. The Joint Community Development Tax Abatement Committee heard this request from Economic Development at the October 22nd meeting. The Joint Committee unanimously approved this request, and I ask that you approve it also. Thank you.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? The item passed. And report a motion to adjourn. We will now have points for further. I call on order for Ward 30.
Thank you, Madam President. I would like to invite the full Board of Alders to our 3rd annual Thanksgiving dinner hosted by the New Haven Firebirds, the Data Guardians, and also the Shack at 333 Valley Street on Saturday, the 23rd, of November at 2 p.m. I hope you all can join us. Thank you, Madam President.
I will now call on order for Ward 24.
Thank you, Madam President. Good evening. I rise to wish my granddaughter, Riley Holston, happy 15th birthday today. high honor student at Eli Whitney Technical School. She's a sophomore, celebrating her birthday today, as well as my daughter, Collinette, her mom, who's also celebrating her birthday today. Father and daughter sharing the same birthday. Thank you, Madam President.
I will now call on order for word from one.
Thank you, Madam President. I'd like to have our colleagues, keep our prayers and Dr. Andy Price, she was on Saturday night. And thanks for
I will now call on order for word two.
Thank you, Madam President. I rise to congratulate and thank the committee and have gone to the National League of Cities. Well, a job well done. You represent New Haven to the fullest. Thank you.
Any more questions for the personal privilege?
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no.
Yeah.